Let's see what it's going to be, and it is going to be the green-black
Black on black, baby.
against black-blue deck.
Fantastic. So, got some great cards in here. I'm not sure what you guys talked about last time, but Sorla, one of my faves, hitting that tower, slamming, dunking that with her +4 damage when attacking a tower. You always want her to not have a creep in front of you. So a little unfortunate here for our friend Sunsfan.
It's okay. One of the things that this deck can do is build Heartstopper auras on your heroes. And Heartstopper aura will make it so that you deal piercing damage to anyone in front of you at the beginning of the spellcasting phase. And when you get 2 of those together in front, for example, equipped on a Sorlakan, that means that if a creep comes in front of her, it will die immediately and will open those sweet, sweet 12 damage.
Sweet, sweet 12 damage, baby. All right, well, we're seeing these guys move pretty quick here. Our challenger has a lot of confidence so far, and yeah, we're just plowing through. Let's talk about the decks a little bit here. Kind of high-level cards here by our challenger. He only has 1 4-mana card, so can't really do anything this time, Bruno.
Yep, well, but the thing is, there's so many things going on already in the game at the beginning of the game, right? You have the 3 creeps deployed, the 3 heroes deployed. It's really hard to, even if you don't do anything, you're still doing something by blocking your heroes, maybe taking a kill here or there, or putting some pressure into the tower. Look, he didn't have to do anything, and he did 2 damage to the tower with this unblocked creep. So that will mean that as the turns go by, his cards that were too expensive to play at the beginning, he will have a much better late game. And remember, this challenger deck has a lot of ramp cards like Selemene's Favor.
Yep.
So drawing one of those will enable him to get access to like Coup de Grace or Thunderhide Pack much earlier than he normally would.
Oh, did you see that double arrow on the first lane? That was unfortunate. He had 2 pointing arrows that were moving that forward attack a different direction. They both went opposite of that PA. So Sorla will be hitting that tower for an incredible 20 damage.
No, she won't.
Or not.
There's a pick-off in the lane, and again, there's a lot of cards that allow you to control the battlefield so easily, and Black has a lot of those.
Yeah, so pick off, you guys, does 4 damage to anyone in any lane. In case you're confused as to where can I use spells, if you see those little arrows, it means it can go anywhere on any lane. So don't have to use it just in the one that you're at. So very powerful skill there, coming out at level 4 just in time to stop that Sorla.
Yes. Now Sunsfan again using Battlefield Control, a spell that allows you to modify who a unit attacks. So even though his Jumui was dying, he turned that Lycan to attack that creep instead. And not only keeps the Jumui alive, but also puts a lot of damage to the Lycan as well.
Oh baby. Bruno, we got a lot to talk about. My old friend, Mist of Avernus. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a improvement card. Improvements go on your towers in one of your lanes, and they stay forever. This one in particular gives +1 attack to everyone in that lane in the next phase. You'll notice that it didn't do it when he put it down in this phase. So all those creeps are going to get +1, and it's a great card to get early because it stays there forever, and those guys will be hitting hard in just a little bit.
There are some cards that allow you to get rid of improvements. However, there's not too many around here in these decks.
Yep.
Apotheosis Blade is one of them that is on the... How'd you call it?
What?
What's the name of the card?
Oh, just as you said it, Bruno.
Exactly as I said it.
Apotheosis Blade. And it's, you know, relatively cheap. It's only the most expensive item in the entire game at 25 gold. But that's one way to do it, Bruno.
That's one way to do it. Another way to do it would be with Pugna.
Pugna.
Pugna can destroy with his ability a random improvement in a lane every 3 turns.
That's correct. That's called Nether Blast, boys, in case you're interested in that sweet Pugna lore.
Yes.
I know my kids out there are interested in that.
Who's Pugna's pet?
Well, we already talked about this.
Yes.
Viper. But it wasn't confirmed until recent voice line additions. In the... Bruno, don't get me started on this stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see what we got here for our challenger. He has 2 choices, either Truth to Power, which will silence 1 unit this round. You might be asking yourself, what is a silence? Well, he probably doesn't want to use that on a creep. What it does is it prevents heroes from casting any abilities. And surprisingly for you Dota players out there, also you can't use items. Isn't that correct, Bruno? Yeah,
that is correct. Silence is silence and mute all together, just bundled in one single thing.
Yep, don't get it twisted, but the arrows there preventing him from doing any tower damage, and here we go.
Yes, and we've seen that the challenger has, even though they have had a lot of gold. They hadn't spent their gold at all, and that is because they want to leverage the power of the Revtail Convoy. Revtail Convoy has X attack, where X is equal to half your gold. Rounded down for the people who are asking. So one of the things that this deck wants to do is kill a lot of things, get a lot of gold, but not necessarily spend it, but rather create really powerful units that will mow down your tower.
Oh, there we see the Mist of Avernus getting everybody strong in this lane, Bruno. Dealing some good damage already, and it doesn't look like the heroes Chen or Debbie are going to die this time, meaning that they're just going to keep on getting stronger. Now, this is important, Bruno. We've got Truth to Power available for our boy here. He's actually going to pass. Very, not the best move in the world there. He had initiative. He could have silenced that Zeus and prevented anyone from getting damaged. Casting that spell and killing all those creeps.
Yeah, Truth to Power, a very situational spell, particularly useful when there's only one hero on the other side of the lane. So really, really worth using it when you can. Also a little bit more expensive than some other cards for the value that he has, meaning that that was a perfect time to use it. Of course, while the card is not fantastic, the hero that it comes with is actually pretty good.
Yep.
3/7 Rix is not interesting in from the stats line perspective, but the fact that he has a rapid deployment ability will allow him to, any turn that he dies, he will come back next turn. You can't get rid of that pesky Rix.
Indeed. Now, you guys might have been saying there hasn't been too much happening in this game so far. A couple creeps, couple heroes dying, but it's now time for mana level 6. And both black and blue decks start to get crazy around this period. It's an essential part, especially because cards like Coup de Grace, cards like Steam Cannon, these are cards that are going to be able to be used now, and we're going to see a lot of stuff happening. Now, in this situation, Coup de Grace instantly kills a hero. If he plays it now, he could save his PA and get some decent tower damage. Is that the way to go, Bruno?
That looks like the way to go to me as well. I mean, you can go greedy and actually play Avernus, but yeah, Coup de Grace with the anime look just flash. I love that card.
Oh, it looks beautiful. It is a dirty spell, and you should be ashamed if you use it, but it is a beautiful looking spell.
So here on the reverse, what we've seen is because he casted that Coup de Grace, he gave out initiative, and now the Frostbite will come from Sunsfan towards our challenger, hitting that hero, and by killing the Lycan with the 2 damage that the Frostbite can apply, first of all, the disarm doesn't matter because he's now dead, but also he gets rid of the only hero in this lane, preventing our challenger from casting any spells. For example, Mist of Avernus or Truth to Power.
Yep, very good. And don't forget, if you don't have a hero in your lane, you ain't casting anything. So now he's going to have no hero in that for the next phase. And Debbie's done! Oh no, the Heartstopper aura, Bruno. You weren't kidding when you talked about that one.
Oh yeah, it just adds up and it gets crazy. And it's fantastically synergetic with Necrophos, because Necrophos has Sadis as his passive ability, which will give him +1 health after an enemy neighbor, and an enemy neighbor would be like any of the 3 units here, like one in front or to the side, die. So every time Heartstopper Aura or anything kills everything, just Necrophos just gets stronger and stronger. And he starts with base 6 health, but it's not unusual to see Necrophos with like 15 or plus health.
Oh yeah.
Once they get there, how do you kill that?
You gotta work real hard, Bruno.
Yep.
You gotta pray, and you gotta use a lot of blue spells to kill that Necrophos, which he doesn't have, so good luck to him. Anyway, Untusted Grunt coming out on this lane, of course, 4 damage onto that. He's kind of a weak creep, even though he's so ripped. He's got a really beautiful bod, but only 4 damage at 2 HP. Don't believe everything you see. And yeah, they're gonna slam on that tower, and we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, and TP Scroll is used on Chen. He wants to abandon this lane. He realizes actually there's no point for me being here. And that might actually tempt Sunsfan into overcommitting a little bit more and just play something else. So he actually chooses to play the Heartstopper Aura. He realizes have to be careful and not overextend too much. He gets the Untested Grunt and the Heartstopper Aura, saves that Oglodi Vandal for those like yeah, for damage, and most fantastically teleports away that Necrophos. Now you're saying, why did he take it away? He wanted to destroy this tower. Well, here's the thing, with 2 Heartstopper Aura and the ability to deploy him right now, he's a walking bomb.
Yes, indeed. He can go anywhere, especially in the middle lane where those heroes have pretty low HP. If that Necrophos goes in the right spot, and I'm thinking what Sunsy's thinking, he's going to try to nuke those guys before they can cast a single thing. Now we do have a very exciting card coming out, the Thunderhide Pack, coming out for our challenger there. 8 mana, which would allow him to do some major damage if he could get that off.
Yeah, and now look at this. Oh, fantastic. We will see the 4 damage applied, destroying the Rix and putting the Phantom Assassin at 2 health. Now, there is a coup de grace in the hand of... get that health up, yes. There is a coup de grace in the hand of our challenger, so Derek technically could destroy that Necrophos. But that would mean that his second coup de grace is out. And like sometimes when I see things like this, I know that you're like, oh no, I got coup de grace, but another way to look at it is like, that's one less coup de grace to worry about.
Sure.
You already used one, you used the second one, now I'm pretty confident that you won't have that third one in hand.
And it's pretty risky to use now because he's got such great skills. Hand of God could be lost. Thunderhide Pack could be lost. He has no control over that, whereas he could just put Steam Cannon, take it nice and safe, and have a great improvement that he can use for the rest of the game.
Yes.
So we'll see what he decides to do here.
Using this Oglody Vandal kind of as a sacrificial lamb here by... he's going to die, but it still did the 4 damage to the tower and blocks the Phantom Assassin, not only putting 4 damage on her, but also preventing some of that damage on that tower. Remember, with only 30 health, you have to manage your health resource pretty well.
Yep. I did not learn that lesson in my game. What can he do? Steam Cannon actually going to go in the second lane, an interesting choice. You can technically put that down and use it in the same turn. So typically like to have that in lane 1, but he's going to go ahead and let it be in lane 2. And we'll see just why very soon.
Yes, and now again with the initiative going on Sunsfan's hand, he gets to do something before the opponent gets to use the Steam Cannon. So with that in mind, he manages to heal the Jamui. And now the Steam Cannon can kill the Crystal Maiden, but not the Jamui. Had he played the Steam Cannon on that first lane, he could have been able to use it before the health heal was available. So if he had won, he would have been able to get rid of the Jamui.
Yeah, tiny mistakes from everybody. Also, if Sunsfan just, you know, I don't know. I was going to say if he healed up that Crystal Maiden, he could have stopped her from dying to the Steam Cannon, which then would have saved him more damage on his tower. Boom shakalaka. How could I have predicted that? But instead, she's dead now, and that means that he is going to be able to do lethal in the middle lane. A little tough there.
Yep.
Lane 2? What's the correct terminology for us Dota players?
I call it lane 1, lane 2, lane 3.
Ah, I guess that would make more
sense. Third lane.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, top, mid, bottom is confusing because unless you flip your monitor.
Middle works though. Middle's always middle.
Middle works, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna call it
first
one
middle,
middle
last.
and 3.
Yeah, one middle, first, middle, last.
There, that's pretty good. All right, so there we go. We're going to see the Ancient exposed. For those of you who have never seen Artifact before, there are 2 ways to win a game. You can take 2 towers, or you can take 1 tower, which will expose the Ancient that has 80 HP, and then you can take that Ancient. But it looks like Sunsfan's plan is to take 2 towers, as lane 3 only has 6 HP, and lane 1 is looking a little low as well.
Yes, and Apotheosis Blaze shows up in the shop for the Challenger. Unfortunately, he doesn't have enough gold raked up, only 23, so he ends up just buying the Potion of Knowledge, trying to dig into his deck, trying to find some answers, and he also understands that he needs to put a lot of pressure in that first lane. That last lane has been conceded, but with the Necrophos putting pressure and knowing that that PA is going to die, he needs to stop other things from happening, and yeah, that show right there will stop Solacan from hitting the tower, and now with the 2 Heartstop Aurora, Necrophos getting bigger and bigger once again, and all the heroes blocked.
Yikes. I mean, if he puts down the Steam Cannon, Sunsfan, he can get rid of Debbie, smashing that tower and do some major damage. So we'll see if he wants to do that. He's actually going to just use his Keen Foam Musket. This is an item, Bruno. It does 2 attack, but it also has an active shooting anybody in your lane for 2 damage. So old Debbie, everybody rest your... Oh, wait a second, Bruno!
Hand of God.
The Hand of God! It prevents any damage from anybody in that lane for that turn.
And heals them to full.
Oh, Debbie will make it another day. Through your thoughts and prayers out there, the Hand of God was listening.
Yes, so now if you are Sunsfan, you're thinking, well, the tower is not invulnerable, so I can still put some pressure with my Oglody Vandals. Now, Potion of Knowledge is drawn to, is used to draw 1 card, and now there's a possibility of another Oglody Vandal, there's a possibility of the Assault Ladders as another improvement that will make this do 6 damage instead of 2. And there's the Disciple of Nevermore, which probably would be a bad idea here, because even though it would give some attack to the things, everything is invulnerable on the other side, and it would also give them -2 armor, making them weaker and potentially dying.
Yeah, the move here would be absolutely to put Heartstopper on Necro, I would say, giving him ×3. That would insta-kill Debbie in the next round.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
The third Heartstop Aurora.
That's going to be 6 piercing damage. Now, we haven't talked too much about piercing, of course, because nobody on this team has any armor. But piercing damage goes through armor, which would normally stop any kind of damage source, depending on how much armor you have. So not going to be happening this time. Look at that Mist of Avernus, Bruno.
It's growing and growing, and now the Steam Cannon can actually put some pressure. Cannot kill the Necrophos, which is probably what he would want to. But he can kill the Zeus in lane 3. So by using that Steam Cannon, he can prevent Sunsfan from doing anything in that lane. Having said that, I'm not sure if you want to kill that Zeus, because killing that Zeus will allow him to redeploy him later.
Yep.
I think you are, as a challenger, you're now content with that Zeus being there. And I think that Sunsfan won't even try to kill that Zeus if it gets to that point in that lane.
Sure. Very good point. Steam Cannon up on the Necrophos, trying to take him out a little
right.
bit.
And oh yeah, there's another Steam Cannon, but unfortunately he has no black heroes deployed. If he had that second Steam Cannon, he could actually kill that Necrophos, but that will make him survive. And yeah, not much mattering here in the thing. And as I said before, the Zeus dies. He could have saved it. He had a Fountain Flask, but he didn't care about that because Zeus in that lane is no longer useful.
Yep, sometimes you want your heroes to die so that you can what's the word for it?
Redeploy?
Redeploy. That's a good way to say it.
Conflagration, redeploy,
Conflagration, the redeploy, the apotheosis blade. Listen, I'm not very smart, but he's going to respawn that Zeus into one of the other lanes, and that's going to help him out a lot more than to just keep hitting his head against that Ancient. So, with only 11 HP for our challenger and only 15 for Sunsfan, it's all coming down to this lane, and who is going to be able to strike first.
Oof.
Look at that Necrophos,
There you go,
baby.
Debbie! That's so good for him too, because look at how many black spells there are here. 2 pickups, 1 coup de grace, the Steam Cannon, all spells that would help him a lot in this situation. None of them can be used. Yes, you can play a Thunder High Cap, you can Truth to Power and silence one of those heroes. You can even put some blockers in the Reptile Convoy and Savage Wolf, but those sweet removal spells that you would want to play, they're not available here anymore.
Yep, Thunderhide Pack is a fantastic card. It does 14 damage, 14 health, and it has 6 siege, excuse me. But if somebody's blocking it, it just doesn't do that much. He needed that something to be able to get rid of those creeps, and not looking too good for our challenger now. Sunsfan does have the ability to just easily get it down to lethal. He's going to use a short. He's playing with a Bruno. He can play the Glogi Bandle whenever he wants, but...
Well, I mean, he still doesn't know what his opponent has in hand, and with 9 mana available, he is scared that he might get blocked. And I think his fear is correct here, right? You have to be careful. If you overcommit and you use your Bloody Vandal, then you can get blocked. And if you don't win this turn, then granted, you won't lose, but there's a lot of pressure coming into this middle tower, so better safe than sorry.
Sure, why not? You can play like that, or you can go all in. What do you say, Sunzy? Just slap that sucker down. Let's see what happens, buddy. No.
Anyway. So here, now, see, that's the point. Like, your opponent committed all of his mana into putting a Thunderhide Pack in front of a creep, not even in front of the Crystal Maiden. So now he knows there's no mana, there's no way for him to get blocked, there's no 1-mana creatures in the challenger's deck, and that will conclude the matchup.
Yep, very fun matchup there indeed, as we see these two shaking hands and being good guys together. I love the aspect of mana in Artifact. It's one of my favorite things, and that